it seems like I think Canyon was one of the first like bigger brands to do like the crazy big sizing. That's just something that I remember. Like I think let's see, I think like their enduro bike went from the same thing where it was like you just basically moved every size down and everything just got way bigger. Once like if I just don't, this is my opinion, but I don't feel like a size large should have like a reach of like 500. That's like insane. Um, I mean, it might work for some people, but I just don't think it's very practical. And you,
I'm just like curious, like what's the driving factor behind it? Like, I wonder if it's like a perceived demand from the consumer, um, that's been like quantified in any real way, or if it's like from the engineering side and like the design initiative from the brand that's like, we really believe this is better. So I wonder if it's like more of being like a people pleaser and like catering to a market, or yeah, like trying to push something that like they believe is actually better. But I mean, in Canyon's case, it was pretty funny to watch the whole Jack Moir, last year on Canyon when that new bike got released, and Jack's 6'3" or something. I don't know. He's a tall, lanky dude, and fool was
kind of
riding the
small.
small.
Yeah, like what?
It's
Yeah, when
like,
the
damn.
size small is the same as your old medium or large, like
Yeah, it's like,
that's
damn, did that marketing ploy, like, or did that marketing initiative really come full circle when your flagship enduro racer is pretty much saying, "Nah, I ain't stoked on this." Like, give me the
I
small.
I I don't think he was involved in development. If
Yeah,
that's
I
the
mean,
case, like
that's
that's
really
pretty
what it
clear.
says, is that Jack had no part in the development of that bike, which
They're
is
like,
like,
"Here's the bike, have fun." He's like, "Mate, I can't ride this."
yeah, sorry, bro, I'm out. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty interesting when you think about it. It's like, I guess he maybe wasn't a part of the brand long enough to like really be that entrenched in the development. Like, I forget how long he was on.
I mean,
So
he
maybe
was
that,
kind of a last minute pickup too. I think it was like this emergency, like he got kind of burned
yeah,
by Cannondale, I think, and then yeah, it's cool if Canyon to pick him up. I mean, I bet
yeah,
honestly, like that the super big bike was probably like already like slated because I think brands are like years in advance.
yeah, right.
So it's like
Yeah,
that bike might have been coming before like as he was picked up. So it's like there's
yeah,
not.
yeah. I think that's what it probably was then. It's just the bike was already decided on. Yeah, not much room for adjustment when he
Yeah,
came
on the
along. But
topic of that dude, the bike that he won that overall on is to me just a mystery. Like, although it isn't though, because if you look at like I can't figure out exactly like the numbers of it, but like I think it is in that range of kind of like almost what like an S3 Enduro is.
yeah,
Granted, he is way taller than like what I am, but
yeah,
also like very skilled, way more skilled and fast, but still like it is like it. I think it actually like does work on paper if you, but it was strange. Like that bike looked very odd.
I mean, I think it's something that is relevant to like all these conversations, is that riding style just plays a massive factor in how you're going to set up your bike. And like Jack Moore is a really good example of that. Like, you wouldn't tell anyone to set your bike up like Jack Moore and expect it to be good. It's like, that's a setup that I think it's honestly really cool that he's like been able to figure out like a setup that works for him. That's like pretty out in left field, as far as like normal, like the conventional knowledge of bike setup goes. And I think looking at him ride, he he's not really, and it's really hard to say, but he's not super over the front guy, like
No,
initiating with the front. Like, you look at him ride and it's like he's drifting everywhere, and like he's pretty much steering with the rear.
yeah,
And I think he's been able to make a bike setup work that isn't super front grip heavy, and he's just a it just meshes with his riding style and his lanky legs. And like, it's kind of a mystery, but I feel like I can kind of make sense of it. But he's very much like found something that like works for him. And
yeah.
I mean, I think that's what colors the entire, bike geometry debate, is like what works for you. I feel like there's when talking about the majority of most riders that aren't on the top end of enduro speed worldwide. I think there's still general principles that like can help most bikes perform for the majority of people in the majority of situations. So it's definitely still worth talking about.
Yeah, definitely. Like, yeah, like there is like a, yeah, it's hard to say. I think, yeah, if you're just within a certain range, it just makes your life as a rider or racer a lot easier.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
outside of that, then you have to start, you might get some big benefits, but then there's going to be like a big compromise with that benefit. So trying to avoid, at least in my opinion, like avoiding those so that you're not having to like work around something that's not good to
Yeah.
to me is ideal.